So recently I was watching Seth Bling's video on an advanced sorting system for his Minecraft server. It worked by using a simple hopper system and item stacking, but an issue he had was that items would get stuck in the system because the pulse didn't stay on for long enough. So what I did was I took his design and I added on it with this customizable hopper clock here. Now, what this hopper clock does is it receives an input from the pulse lengthener, and that goes into a falling edge trigger, so that when the last item goes out and that pulse lengthener falls down, this falling edge will trigger, and it'll hit this NOR ledge over here, which then starts this hopper clock. What happens is the items tick out of this hopper, and let me trigger that again. That would be this one. Nope. This one. The items tick out of this hopper and into this one, which is held high above this redstone signal, through the modified OR gate, which reads the signal of this one and locks it as long as this one's emptying. Then the reverse happens, and when this one's full, let me see if I can trigger this again. When this one is full, it'll reach 16. It'll actually start to drain back into this hopper, which is now held high by the NOR latch. Now, when either of these two systems are running, they go through a modified NOR gate, which will keep the clock off. This can be shown here in this slightly messy implementation. This is the NOR gate which holds the clock off. So, if I have my sorting chest here, and a messy inventory, I can just throw everything in. I'm sure there's a keyboard shortcut for this, but I don't know it. And then the system will run through, and I will cut to when most of this has gone through. Alright, so most of the system is emptied, and it's now draining out of the hoppers and into the droppers, which pull it upwards. As you can see, the pulse lengthener is on, but the hopper clock has not been triggered yet. Alright, so this drop is nearly empty now. And so what happens is then there are no more items, so the pulse lengthener shuts off, and I missed it, but the falling edge trigger here ticked, and it activated the hopper clock, which is now ticking through, and as you can see here, did it finish already? It did, and I just broke it. Let me throw a few items in that last. In that last dropper to see if I can trigger it and trace it through. Actually, just a few. Alright, so what will happen is it'll empty, and the pulse lengthener will drop out there, and the falling edge trigger hit, and now the hopper clock is going, and there it just released, which locks the clock again. And as you can see, there are no items left in any of the droppers, and this time is customizable in case you expand on the system. All the items ended up in their chests. Thank you, and goodbye.